Well, this is depressing.
There is a lot of Moroccan scum in Holland.
That is Geert Wilders, a despicable figure.
Wilders was campaigning in a multi-ethnic district near Rotterdam. He's promised to shut down mosques, ban Muslim immigration and pull the Netherlands out of the EU. Look at the Islamisation, how he let terrorism into the country, how he let the Moroccan scum go ahead without us doing anything against them, he said.
To understand Wilders, understand who he is.
Only in December, Wilders was convicted of inciting discrimination after he led his supporters to chant that they wanted fewer Moroccans in the country.
He will defend himself over...
Do I have a problem with Islam? Yes, I do have a problem with Islam. I think it's a fascist ideology. I think we should stop the Islamization of our society. I believe Islam is a violent and dangerous religion and even a retarded culture. I want a full stop of immigration from Muslim countries to the Netherlands. I believe it should be implemented in the whole of Europe, by the way.
And over again.
Thousands of people have protested in Amsterdam against Dutch populist politician Geert Wilders over his anti-Moroccan comments at an election rally. Many were from the Netherlands' ethnic minorities. Several members of Wilders' party have resigned and thousands of complaints for discrimination have been filed. I have said nothing wrong. I'm not sorry. And I won't apologise to anyone for the truth or for performing my duty as a politician.
And he would continue this comparison.
Ik ben ervan overtuigd, als er in Nederland nazi-tempels zouden zijn, dan zouden wij dat ook, dan zou de wereld te klein zijn als dat zou toegestaan. Nou, dit is, gelooft u mij, de islamitische ideologie is zo mogelijk nog gevaarlijker.
He's considered one of the most stridently anti-Muslim politicians in Europe.
It would get even more extreme. The BBC would report Wilders called for a ban on the Quran, which he likened to Hitler's Mein Kampf.
He has called Islam a totalitarian ideology. He bickered against mosques, headscarves, and migrants.
Hoofddoekjes, boerka's, minaretten, uitkeringsafhankelijkheid, misdaad. Het houdt maar niet op.
He spoke at Ground Zero to protest against the construction of a mosque there.
A tolerant society like your city, New York, must defend itself against the powers of darkness.
You know, I recall, content warning, a certain someone, this guy, stating in a tweet, "This is a war between the children of light and the children of darkness. We will not relent in our mission until the light overcomes the darkness," wrote John Collins and Theo Glover. Many observers noted the statement, with its binary logic and openly racist metaphors, could be viewed as prima facie evidence of genocidal motivation, which, by the way, follows this exact man's ideology.
In deze stad en in Nederland, meer of minder Marokkanen.
And he was eventually found guilty of inciting discrimination, but not of hate speech. Wilders' one-page electoral program calls for closing borders for Muslims, shutting down mosques, and even banning the Quran.
Thus, when Morocco faced the Netherlands in the knockout stage of the World Cup, there was Wilders once again. Moroccan players praying on the pitch. Oh no! Wilders quote tweeted, writing, "F Allah." Fans would respond in kind by trolling Wilders with his name on the back of a Morocco jersey. And, you know, on the flip side, did he say anything about the U.S. men's national team praying after they ousted Bosnia and Herzegovina? No, of course not. And prior to that Netherlands-Morocco clash in the World Cup, he used AI to make himself a referee to give Morocco and one of their players a red card. I need everyone to understand that this was way more than just your average World Cup match. In the country, Ibrahim Afellay, a man who represented the Netherlands 53 times and suited up for Barcelona, PSV, and Schalke, to name a few, voiced his support for Morocco, where his family lineage runs. Choosing Oranje over Morocco is a distant memory at this point. From The Guardian, the rise of Wilders and other right-wing populist parties has been mentioned by Dutch Moroccan players as a reason why they increasingly side with Morocco. Look no further than defender Noussair Mazraoui, who plays at the club level for Bayern Munich. He chose Morocco, though he was born in the Netherlands. Ditto with midfielder Sofiane Amrabat, who was also born in the Netherlands. Anas Salah Adin, same story. In all, for this World Cup team, 19 of their 26 players were born outside Morocco. And you know what? Remember Hakim Ziyech also born in the Netherlands, one of the country's best players, and yet he chose the Atlas Lions a decade ago, and oh boy, he was crushed for it. 3-time Ballon d'Or winner Marco van Basten would say of Ziyech, "These are stupid choices. They are stupid boys who should have had a little patience. How can you be stupid enough to opt for Morocco when you are eligible for the Dutch team?" And you know what I say? Who is laughing now? Who is laughing now? In the Netherlands, there are roughly 440,000 Moroccans, including Ziyech's parents. The wave of Moroccans migrating to the Netherlands accelerated through labor agreements during the late 60s before family reunification turned temporary workers into permanent communities. In the end, Morocco would defeat the Netherlands in penalties. And thus,
Les fournisseurs, ils ont gagné. Les fournisseurs, ils ont gagné. Les fournisseurs, ils toujours gagnent.
Team Morocco celebrated in the faces of many far-right Dutch politicians. They may be celebrating even further with talent. Shaquille Van Persie, the son of Dutch great Robin Van Persie, is highly considering representing Morocco, where his mother is from. At this year's World Cup, there is a real core theme. Telegraph Sport would report there is a record 291 players, over 23%, at this World Cup representing a different country to that of their birth. And yet some in the Netherlands, like the politicians that we have named, and even some here stateside, which I'll get into in a moment, they do not process how their own ideologies hold them back, hold their country back, hold society back, wrote Tom Youssef Drissi. Beyond the sporting ramifications, some Dutch fans point to a lack of loyalty or gratitude from Dutch-born Moroccans to the country they have grown up in. Some even extrapolating to use football as an example of a failure of integration on the part of Moroccans and Muslims in Europe. And you know what it reminds me of? Marine Le Pen, a far-right politician in France.
Qu'on me donne une raison, une seule, pour garder sur notre territoire des étrangers qui collaborent avec une idéologie totalitaire qui veut la mort des Français.
Very quickly, if you can, become a paid channel member or go to Buy Me a Coffee to support this channel. Thank you.
Les binationaux en lien avec l'idéologie islamiste doivent être déchus de leur nationalité et expulsés. Les Français qui adoptent l'idéologie de l'ennemi doivent être traduits devant les tribunaux et punis. Les lois existent, il suffit de les appliquer. Eh bien, moi, Présidente, ces lois seront appliquées sans faiblir.
Who says crazy shit like this all the time. And she even would say this of a previous World Cup team in 2010. She'd claim the problem with French soccer players would come down to the team having another nationality in their hearts. Well, that's just fucking insane. And in the United States of America, Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, and co. have gone for what? Birthright citizenship.
We'll take care of the birthright citizenship because that was not meant for rich people from other countries. It was meant for the babies of slaves.
The irony, of course, is the leading goal scorer for the team at this year's World Cup. I talked about it on demand. You could check it out right here. Folarin Balogun. He was born here. And he could have chosen other countries to play for. Instead, he chose the United States and could be part of, if not a large reason why, they could go on to advance even further in the World Cup. I think what this is microcosmic of is how there are so many people who make their name through politics by always, throughout history, attacking the lesser, the already oppressed, minorities, etc. We see it in this country. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They have poisoned the blood of the country. That is what Trump has said of immigrants. We have seen the attacks from Stephen Miller. You know, in the past, Jewish people were linked with tuberculosis and were thought of as lesser as well in Eastern Europe. This is a tale as old as time. And yet, I think what we are seeing with the intersection of sports and politics, how all of these myths that so many far-right politicians put forth are dispelled completely. The statistics are high for those who were not born in the country that they are representing, and how the countries that they were born in really passed up on not only tremendous talent, but also lifting the World Cup trophy. If Donald Trump were to pass birthright citizenship, or lack thereof, what we would see is a decimated World Cup team. Not only would we see so many teams looking different, but also you could make the argument that the homegrown players, the ones who are pure blood American, red, white, and blue, would probably falter. Immigration is a beautiful thing. I live in Chicago, a melting pot of diversity, which we are proud of. You could jump from one neighborhood to another and experience different cultures, different languages, different food. But in the end, what we all see, at least in this tiny bubble, in arguably the greatest city in the world, is no matter where you are from, no matter where your family lineage runs, it is the camaraderie and also being kind for the greater good of what we represent. Simply being human.